eerie silence permeates this place, where it all happened. It's as if Mother Nature looks to hide the embarrassment of these horrible spaces, seeking to reclaim this land for her own. This is mine, she says, as green tendrils of ivy spring up cage walls as if to pull them down. Doors hang open, rusted locks are cut. Branches and grass spring up to hide the scars in the earth, the painful devastation that occurred here not so long ago. These wounds caused by man's pride, man's hubris, soon shrouded by the tender fingers of new growth, of life overtaking pain. This was a place of captivity. Built to make money, gain power, garner prestige, each animal trapped with a purpose to be bred, bought, sold, used to entertain. And today, the last animals escape forever, leaving this place empty, ready for nature to do her work. You'd think playing chicken with the U.S. government's Endangered Species Act wouldn't be a good idea. Citations pile up, inspections are failed, threats of imminent seizure are issued. The charge, failing to provide animals with adequate or timely veterinary care, appropriate nutrition, and shelter that protects them from inclement weather and are of sufficient size to allow them to engage in normal behavior. Summed up, these precious animals were subjected to mistreatment, neglect, and abuse. And yet, these people, they fight back, embroiling the courts in appeal after appeal, lawsuit after lawsuit. They raise up obstacle after obstacle, being as difficult as possible. And so, days go by as the animals languish in tiny, rotting cages. And still, it takes time, cutting through the red tape and weeks and months of due process just to get the job done. So when the U.S. government descended on Jeff Lowe's Tiger King Park on May 6th, along with the Wild Animal Sanctuary, only a few animals, those pregnant with cubs or most in need, were cleared to be taken. A rescue is always stressful, always taught with the tension of doing the job well, of ensuring the health and well-being of every animal that's rescued. Yet so many times, the sanctuary steps into an environment filled with intense danger. Threats of violence, taunts, and rage swirl around. You have to keep your head down, ignore the slurs, the yelling, and just get the job done. Yet the hardest thing to endure is when the day is done and you drive away with just a few of the animals, and you look in the rear view mirror and you see all those lives that had to be left behind, still trapped in their cages, not knowing that someday their day of rescue would come. As rescues go, this is a big one. One of the largest and highest profile cases of animal abuse and neglect, amplified significantly by the exposure of Netflix's popular show. This massive rescue was a joint operation incorporating 17 different sanctuaries from across the nation, each taking a few of the animals, yet leaving most for the Wild Animal Sanctuary to rescue. Trust born from years of experience of working together meant that the U.S. government partnered with the Wild Animal Sanctuary to manage the entire rescue from beginning to end. Each step was carefully planned in secrecy as equipment, trailers, and dozens of personnel were transported to the region. A convoy of trailers, equipment, and armed officers descended on the Tiger King Park. Trailer after trailer came and went. Cages were opened for the very last time as the animals were coaxed out into a world they weren't sure of, but would forever transform their life. For 3 days, the sanctuary loaded. Scorching heat mixed with sweltering humidity took its toll as sanctuary staff collapsed, exhausted, and were hospitalized. And yet the tremendous love and steely effort continued unabated through the heat, the mud, and the sweat. Each animal's precious life worth every effort, worth the time, worth the difficulty, worth the expense. Few smaller animals remained when the sanctuary drove away, their fate to be determined in the courts before they could be rescued. Yet the largest job was done. When the rescue was over, 68 lions and tigers were en route to a life far, far away. A beautiful peace fills the air of this forever home. Mother Nature's masterful handiwork, a true refuge. The perfect home to restore these creatures, healing what was broken, stolen, or enslaved. This is mine, she says, as the cage opens and they step out free. They pause, they breathe deep, inhaling the sense of a world they never could have imagined, feeling grass brush life underfoot as they step carefully forward for the very first time. These tender, magnificent giants who'd been confined in cages no bigger than a car, they lose no time in exploring the far reaches of their freedom, enticed by an openness they've never yet known. They roll in the deep grass, they take shelter under trees, play, eat, and just be. The stress, the trauma of their captivity flows away in this tremendous place of peace, this refuge, now and forever their home. This is mine, says nature, as she does her work.